They told her aging meant slowing down, but she chose to rise instead. They said it casually, like it was a law of nature, like gravity, like time itself had already made its decision about her. They spoke as if her life had a closing chapter written the moment she crossed a certain number. But she did not accept their quiet sentence. She did not bow to age like a prisoner. She stood up like a warrior. At 55, she stood in front of the mirror and refused to feel invisible. She looked at her reflection longer than usual that morning. Not with judgment, not with pity, but with honest attention. She saw the fine lines forming at the corners of her eyes. She saw the softness in places that used to feel harder. She saw the changes, every single one. And for a moment, the world tried to tell her a lie, a dangerous one, that she was fading, that she was becoming smaller, that she had already lived her best years. But she leaned closer to the mirror and whispered something different to herself. Not spoken out loud, but deep within. I am not done. Her body ached, her back whispered pain, and her balance wasn't what it used to be. Getting out of bed wasn't as easy as it once was. Tying her shoes took more effort than it used to. Long walks had started to feel shorter. Stairs felt steeper. Chairs felt lower. She noticed things she had never noticed before. The tightness in her lower back. The ache in her knees after standing too long. The heaviness in her legs by evening. The stiffness in her shoulders every morning. The world around her moved at the same speed. But her body did not, and that scared her more than she wanted to admit. But her spirit was louder than any weakness. It was louder than the pain. Louder than the doubt. Louder than the little voice that said, "It's too late." Louder than the fear of becoming dependent. Louder than the quiet question that kept her awake at night. Is this how it ends? Her spirit answered back. No, this is how it begins again. One morning, she knelt on the floor and held her first plank for just 10 seconds. 10 seconds. That was all she could manage. 10 seconds that might seem ridiculous to someone younger. 10 seconds that might seem insignificant to someone stronger. 10 seconds that might go unnoticed by the world. But to her, they were everything. 10 seconds that shook her arms but awakened her soul. Her muscles trembled. Her elbows burned into the floor. Her breath became shallow. Her body screamed quietly. And yet, her heart roared. Those 10 seconds were not just exercise. They were defiance. They were rebellion. They were a declaration. I will not disappear silently. Every day she returned stronger, steadier, and more determined. Some days she held it for 12 seconds. Some days 15. Some days 20. And on hard days she failed.